right, now we're here with Courtney Taylor and Christopher Emerson, voice actors for Ada Wong and Piers Nivens, respectively. And I guess first up is just, like, how does it feel to be part of the Resident Evil world at this point? Like, it's a huge, constantly evolving franchise, and now you're both kind of thrust into this. So,
You want to take that one first?
You take it first.
I take it first?
Go for it.
It's amazing. I mean, look around. I mean, this is awesome to be a part of this huge franchise that people are just crazy excited for. It's a massively awesome experience.
It has been amazing. The fans have been incredible.
yes, probably bump into a few tonight, I imagine, too. So,
I have already met a few tonight. They're
Nice.
amazing, such loyal fans. So
Awesome.
it's been really great to actually get to be a part of this.
So I'm Troy Baker and I play Jake Mueller.
And I'm Eden Regal, and I play Sherry Birkin.
an all grown up Sherry Birkin. As far as the other characters go, there's a little bit of history already. Leon's established, Chris is established, but your pair, your co-op partners, are kind of totally a blank slate. Sherry obviously has a bit of history, but in the sense you guys get to be the freshest take and have like the create a character on your own. So I was wondering what that experience was like compared to like shackled to an existing character.
I was excited to be a part of something that was allowing me to kind of create a new character
Right.
and kind of bring some fresh blood, pardon the pun, into the franchise. And I love the fact that they, put someone with Sherry Birkin who's, established in the franchise as well, but you get to see her all grown up.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah, no, that part was fun for me, like, because she was an established character, like a legacy character, and I watched the young Sherry. But obviously a lot of stuff happened to her, and she's
Right.
haunted by that, and now she's become an adult, and I think everybody's really curious, like, who she became and how she got through that. So it was really exciting to create her from the ground up and figure out who she is now.
Because even in RE2, we get a glimpse, but we don't get a great deal of who she might become later on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she could go either way. I mean, she's had some trauma, So
She was but a weed at the last when that happened to her.
yeah, she was. She
I
was
feel
wearing
like-
a little sailor outfit.
Oh yeah. It's a good callback actually. All right, now we're here with Matthew Mercer and Laura Bailey, the voice of Leon Kennedy and Helena Harper, respectively. And I guess the first question that I have for both of you is what it's like becoming a part of this huge, weird thing that is Resident Evil.
It's huge for me. I mean, I grew up a Resident Evil fan from the get-go, and Leon's been a favorite character of mine since he showed up in
I can
2.
see you're rocking the hair a little bit. Like,
Yeah, no, I had to make sure I didn't part it like that because then everyone would be like, really? Really? You're going to be that guy? Give me that guy?
So in the contrast things, Ada is kind of a solo character in the game, whereas the other characters have a co-op buddy with them the whole time. Like you have Chris and Piers together, Leon and Helena, but Ada kind of has a lone wolf mentality in the game.
I work alone. I definitely looked at Ada knowing that she was very mysterious. The way
Okay.
she moves, the way she talks is very kind of cat-like.
Right.
Menace. You're a menace.
A menace.
She's a
And
menace.
then for Piers, like, how did you feel? Like, how would you describe his character in contrast to Chris? Because it seems like they're going to butt heads a lot in the game.
Yeah, well, for people that I'm sure have watched the opening cutscene that has been online, you know,
Right.
Chris Redfield starts the game off in a less than heroic fashion, and
Right.
and it's Piers' job to get him back on the path. It's like Piers Nivens is the Sam Gamgee to his Frodo Baggins,
see.
and has to make sure that he makes sure that Chris Redfield lives up to his full potential and
Don't go where I
kicks some
can't follow.
ass. Don't go where I can't follow.
Yeah.
There is no hope left without Chris Redfield.
So since for you, in this case, Leon, since he's an established character, did you go back and look at like 2 and 4 and kind of look at who Leon was as a character then? Because he's certainly been through a lot by the time you get to 6, so he's kind of a changed man at this point.
Yeah. I didn't really look back because I'd already played them all. But yeah, like both from Paul Haddad and Paul Mercier, the transition from character to character, voice actor to voice actor, used all that as a branching point, as inspiration, and then brought my own take on it. But definitely making sure I felt and knew the character arc, and brought him to where he is now in 6. A little older, a little wounded by the world. if you
Yeah,
will.
seems a little bit worse for the wear at this point. Like he's
Yeah.
seen a lot at this
Yeah.
point. He went far from rookie cop.
Yeah, he's still Leon. He's still got his quips. He's still cuts the tension, but he's definitely taking its toll on him.
Nice. And then Helena, like, how would you describe her as a character? Since you are kind of, in this case, you get to kind of create
Right.
who she is and what you brought to the role in that case.
Which was an awesome thing to get to do.
Yeah.
I feel like, she is single-minded in her goals. If you watch the trailer, you saw the scene where she saw her sister being taken away, and that's
Right.
kind of her entire motivation for the game is to get that sorted out and to save her family. And she brings Leon along for the ride.
Do you get to do any kind of like workshopping or improvisation once you're in the booth, or once you're in the booth is the script kind of set?
There was a few changes here and there.
A few along the way, yeah.
There wasn't a lot of like improv. There
I see.
was no.
Not a lot. Mostly like when it comes to the efforts. Like when it comes to dying any which way, like you can really make it your own. If it's like a really crunchy, squishy smash death, or if it's an impalement death, or
Right.
if it's like being riddled with bullets death, then you can just like let it fly, and you can really own it as an actor and put your signature on it.
I still remember recording the dying.
The deaths are always fun. You always get to mark off, okay, drowned while being strangled by barbed wire. You know, you get to mark it off. It's great.
I don't know if you had
There are
one
a
as
lot
well.
of ways you can die in Resident Evil 6.
Yeah, definitely.
It definitely was trying to figure out how to jump off of a 10-story building, but be cat-like and effortless,
Yeah.
and land in a cat-like and effortless way. Because I kept thinking, if I jumped off a 10-story building, I'd be like, eh.
Yeah.
But Ada's not like that. So
Pure confidence.
Yeah.
Another aspect of their campaign I liked a lot, without getting into too many spoilers or anything, but they just have a really good relationship, a good camaraderie between them. It starts off a little.
Did you say that?
Starts off a little rocky.
Yeah.
But then just like we've seen some cutscenes of them talking that have already been in trailers and at Gamescom and stuff, but it seems like you guys get to actually like, bounce some dialogue off each other and delve into your characters a little more.
Yeah, the relationship definitely does start off very, very rocky, and I think that's one of the things that's very interesting about this game. I think it's one of the most dramatic games that Resident Evil has done. They've established the action, they've established the horror,
Right.
and this really brought a strong, narrative arc to it. So.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you said, and I thought it was really interesting that these two people who are total opposites and who absolutely hate each other and under any circumstance would not even give each other the time of day, this respect for each other grows because they're in this extreme situation and they have a common enemy, and so this bond forms between them, and then they end up with something that's really special.
Awesome.
And there's one specific moment in the game, and I won't give anything away for the spoilers, but there was a great moment where we do realize that we have something in common, and I think that was a really, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
That's a really
I think
cool
that's where it
moment.
clicked for me as well, where I'm like, I get it.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
they don't hate each other.
Yeah, it's awesome. One of the fan questions we get a lot are people like genuinely interested in voice acting themselves,
Sure.
and they're just wondering like, as accomplished ones yourselves, what would you say is like some of the most basic starter tips if like you're wanting to get into voice acting? First things you should do.
I say the first thing that you have to focus on is the acting part.
Right.
Because especially now these days, it's not just having a cool voice. I mean, we've already have Solid Snake. We already have Marcus Phoenix. We already have these guys with really kick-ass voices. We need some really, really strong actors. And we're seeing with this game, the writing is really getting deep. And it's getting more, it's not even competing with movies anymore because this is a way more immersive experience.
2-hour movie versus 30-hour
10
game.
or 30-hour game, exactly. That you get to choose which, if you go through that door or you don't, you're not just an observer. So I say focus on the acting, learn how to act,
Awesome.
And I think I have a crappy voice, and that fact that people like me, I just try to live the character as best as I can.
Awesome.
Yeah, you see the words right out of my mouth. Like it is all about the acting and immersing yourself. I mean, video games are so immersive for the player, and so we have to be very immersed in the circumstances, and really they have to be real to us, no matter where we are. If we're in a booth, like with dots all over our face, we gotta live in this world. So
you did the face model as well for Sherry.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I completely agree. I don't even focus on my voice at all. Like if you live in the moment, then it really takes the audience on this emotional journey.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Let's go enjoy this party, which seems to be going into high gear at the
Let's
moment.
do it.
But
Cheers.
see ya.